there everyone, it's Anthony, back with another video here on Single and Placing. Hi, hope you're having a fantastic day, weekday, weekend, week, month, evening, morning, overnight, all of that good stuff. Hope you're doing well. Make sure to leave in the comments how things are going for you. I can do the one-handed jazz hands, but I've got my phone in my other hand and it's charging because we're going to respond to some comments. I'm not gonna waste a bunch of time or do a bunch of preamble. We're getting right to it. I'm doing well, Apollo's doing well, and so let's just get into it. Hi, responding to your comments. Hi. So Lisa Noof gave some heart emojis to a previous vlog, and Karen Seeing Diamond says that finish shown was amazing. Congratulations on the winner for the pinup paint along. I'm going oldest to newest right now. Thank you. Avery says, thank you, Anthony, for showing my finish. That was so cool. I had a blast with your event. Congrats to the winner. Of course. Thanks for participating. And then we have DB Bunny. I can't remember. Catherine? No, I'm not even going to try. I always forget. Says, love Mooka's artwork. I don't have any in my stash, but I saw that DAC has just restocked summer, so I may be tempted. I'll be watching along regardless. That was in regards to the announcement video for Mooka Mania. And now we're coming up on the tail end of it. Thank you. Avery says, those walking quests are so cool. I know there's a Lord of the Rings one that would be epic to do. Yes, that's Conqueror challenges. And yeah, they have a Lord of the Rings one. They've released a few more, and they had a couple on Black Friday that were on sale, but I'm still in the midst of my current one, so I didn't pick up any, but yeah. Avery goes on to say, oh, that's nice of you. You had a movie night with your mom. That sounds fun. Wow, I can't wait to see your POV videos on your other channel. That will be awesome. Yeah, we're all the way up to, I think my most recent video on Coaster Pursuit is the holiday event at Elitch Gardens. So if you want to see the Christmas lights at the theme park here in Denver, that's been up for a couple weeks now. So yeah. And Avery says, oh yes, a self-guided tour of Mammoth Cave would be awesome. Have fun and take pictures. That was vlog 196. Yeah, that was back when I was talking about my plans, and unfortunately Mammoth Cave was partially closed due to the government shutdown, but I did get to see a little bit. Avery says, I'm sorry you're destashing. I can imagine it's really hard. I look forward to your auction. It would mean a lot to me if I had one of your kits. Stay strong. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, it was pretty rough getting rid of some of a few, but I have quickly, thanks to Diamond Art Club, been able to replace 9 of them over Black Friday from Diamond Art Club. I think 9 or 10. So, and now I gotta cool it again. But the ones that I got, I'm so excited for. I actually filmed a good portion of the unboxings just wrapped up doing some of those. Did some over lunch today. I still have a couple more to go, or a few more to go. So, yeah, I'm really happy with how things are looking with those unboxings. So I gotta start editing all that stuff tonight. Trin gave some heart emojis. Avery said, in regards to Call of Autumn, I love this kit so much. I love foxes, and this has my favorite colors in it. It's very whimsical with the swirls all around it. It's just a magical piece. Yes, it's amazing. I love that one. All of those kind of panel-esque style pieces from Yume are so good. Fawn says, I plan on taking the days off for your auction, so I'm really glad to hear you plan it before the holiday weekends. Missing those are highly frowned upon. Checkbook is on standby. Thank you, Vaughn. And yes, you did end up snagging quite a few from the D-Stash, so thank you so much. I appreciate it. DB Bunny says, hi, I'm fairly new to your channels and binge watched a lot of videos recently, so merged my comments. Your off-leash dog, off-leash dogs and Walgreens rants crack me up, as I can see myself doing the same. I love coasters, but my US trips focus on national park sites and other attractions. I haven't thought about visiting amusement parks except when I've been to Florida, but I've been close to many of them on my travels. Now regretting that after seeing your videos. So many I want to ride. So loving the coaster content, especially Glenwood and Elitch, as Colorado is on a couple of my possible itineraries for next year. Oh, nice. Well, if you end up coming to Colorado and you want to go to some parks, you better let me know, because I will happily be your guide. So loving. Oh, if you visit the UK, I'd be happy to provide tourist information and visit a park with you. Hope you have an amazing time this month. Yes, the UK is definitely going to be a Europe trip for me. Probably 2027 or 2028. I'd like to go to Alton Towers. There's a few in the UK that I like to visit, and Universal is currently building out a UK theme park. I don't think it opens till 2030, but I'd still like to get to the UK before then. So yeah. Oh, are you gonna kick? Are you kicking? Go potty, baby. So yeah, UK is definitely on my list, and if you come to Colorado, you better let me know. Do not leave Colorado without at least saying hi. And thank you. Artemis says, yay, Anthony and Apollo. Let's see how many times this plays before I actually get to see the whole thing. Yeah, my vlogs are long. I know. Thank you, Artemis. And Karen, Seeing Diamond, says, I'm really right there with you as far as how many paintings I have and I'm not done. I keep buying. I've already told you I'm interested in one of yours. Whatever you destash, I hope I'm able to be there. Another great walk. Oh, thank you so much. And Mia over at Mia's Life with KFS says, hey, love, sir, excuse me, did you take pictures of a catio and not send it to me? I think we need a conversation about that. I need to send you those. Oh, yes, choosing the D-Stash kits was a tough one, and me asking if that one was one you would do next if asked was kind of cruel, right? And the next 3 hours just flew by as always when we gab away. Plus, you were there when I finished my canvas. Yay! Yeah, I was there when you finished. Oh, gosh, you were working on... Were you working on Love is a Four-Legged Word, the cat edition back then? Or were you working on your firefighter one? I can't remember. I'll try to look more into those archive kits this week and figure out which ones are high demand. Hope you have lots of fun in Kentucky. The photos looked like a great time. Yeah, absolute blast. And thank you so much for the support during the D-Stash, Mia. She was my co-host and helped me get everything moving and grooving. I would have been dead in the water without her, so I appreciate it. Easy Breezy Craft says congrats to the winner. And Lisa says, goodbye, Matt, LOL. I just love you and Apollo so much. Very glad you're doing well. I'm subscribed to everything, Anthony, that I can be. And I enjoyed both channels very much. Did I mention I love you? Oh, I love you too. Your personality is perfection and your willingness to share knowledge is amazing. And you're super cute to look at. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I may be doing some more vlogs where it's partially you're facing me while I'm walking and talking, and then I switch to the other way. We'll see. We'll see how that pans out. But for now, you're still strapped to my chest on the little chest harness thing. So thank you, Lisa. And Lisa says, those cats look like they were living their best life in that catio. So cute. Yeah, they are. Artemis says, I don't know, but in my opinion, life experience are more worthwhile than collect than diamond paintings, especially when you have a large stash. As far as emotional intelligence goes, I'm a ninny baby concerning my nearest and dearest. However, in general, I give 0 F's about what people think about me. This is not middle school and I don't care. Now we'll go to the mat if I catch teachers being ugly with my students, but other than that, nah. In my opinion, you'd be a lot better off if you don't compare yourself to others. You're young, hun. If I'm young, you definitely are. You go at your own pace, it's your life, and you've got time. And also, you don't want kids. So, whoa, I almost ran into a tree. Kids. So why was that even on your lips? Hugs, unless someone is going to fund your dream life, don't worry about them. Honey, we know you were all over the place, and we're good with that. I don't know why, but this makes me want to yell, look, Ma, Pookie ain't leaving us. He's staying home after all. Oh, my gosh. Now, get rid of those big words like intermittent. Sorry, I'm a big words person. Blame that. Hold on, I'll finish this. Just tell people to ring the bell because you got to be living your best life. Oh, thank you. Blame that on my mom. She was very much into making, at least me, I was her only child for 10 years. So she went overboard with not overboard, but she did a lot extra for me in terms of even when we'd go out to eat, at Denny's or something, she'd make me put on dress slacks and a button-up shirt, and I had to have my hands, or no elbows on the table, my hands resting on my lap. When you drink a cup, you always have a pinky up, always pinkies up. You say please and thank you to everything. Excuse me, pardon me, may I be excused from the table. Always finish your food. Don't stand up or don't talk to other people at other tables. Don't stand up on a booth if you're in a booth. When I was very young. So very prim and proper is how I was raised. And then as I grew older, she was in radio broadcasting during my childhood. So that's where I get my kind of affectations and customer service, HR voice, some people call it. And just generally how I sound very much like my mom. And she uses a lot of big words, you know. And so when they pop into my head, I just say them, even though there's probably a simpler, less complicated way of saying things. I tend to it's just my nature. It's just my nature. I don't go out of my way to use big words or anything. It's just, I have them in my vocabulary and I don't have to scrape for or scrounge for them. It's just my normal manner of speaking. So I know to some people it's like, Anthony, get over yourself. You sound like you're trying to be this and that. It's like, no, it's not. Like, I'm still me. I still rent an apartment with two other people. I'm not living the hoity-toity life or anything like that. But just how my mom made me, I guess, is just, just kind of, what do they call it when they send girls to like finishing school and you have to like curtsy and stuff? Like, I felt like that was my entire childhood. So yeah, it's not going anywhere, sorry. Hold on just a second. We're down to about 22% on the battery, but I did bring backups, so wasted a lot of battery trying to film unboxings today. But thank you, Artemis, and I'm so looking forward to meeting you next year. I can't wait. And everyone else that's going to be there, Mia, Leanne, the whole crew. It's going to be awesome. So, Artemis says, odd that I missed this in regards to the Mookamania event announcement. I blame YouTube. I miss a lot of videos too, and sometimes it's just like maybe several content creators will release videos on the same day or around the same time. So then I'll hit one, watch that, and like, okay, I'm done for the day. And then it gets the rest of them get kind of buried under additional new videos. So I have to make a concerted effort to like go in and look for, like, click on Mia's channel and then just watch the ones that I've missed, as opposed to just going to my subscribe tab. Fawn Kaiser says, people are always waiting for kids to grow and go, finances to fall into place, retirement, more time. Sometimes they wait too long and it's too late. If you can do it now, do it. There is no future. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And I'm trying to lean into that. Decided not to do any trips or anything major for the rest of the year and early next year, just to make sure that I have, a fair little nest egg after Christmas set aside for when I move. Make sure I have first month's, last month's rent, any additional furniture I'll need, decorating stuff, packing supplies, all of that stuff. So I'd like to have, X amount set aside for when I move. In May is what it looks like. And then after that is set aside, then we'll start socking money away for, I have a little savings put aside for Europe, or for the retreat, but all the other trips I want to go on next year, including Saudi Arabia and probably Texas, Ohio. Probably that's probably going to be it if I can manage all those. Saudi Arabia, Texas, Cedar Point, and if there happens to be extra money around after all that and Europe, then I would like to do a late fall trip or something to, I don't know where. California is on my list. There's a couple of places, so it just depends. We'll see. Thank you. And Trend says, I'm so happy you decided to continue with this channel. I follow you on Coaster Pursuit, but I love the walks with Apollo and life updates over here. Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm not going anywhere. Might have some breaks here and there while I'm traveling, but not going anywhere, and certainly have plenty to share during the winter because I'm not doing any coaster stuff. So on the other channel, I want to do some scripted things, breaking down like my top 10 coasters and all that stuff. I just haven't really had time. I started doing it. I haven't really had time to finish that up, so I'll try to get it done ideally before the end of the year. So we shall see. Took a shower earlier and still got a little water stuck in my ear, and I can hear it rattling around. I'm trying to get it to come loose. I hate when that happens. Lisa Noof says, thanks for sticking around with us, even if it's not as often. Oh, potty break, hold on. Anyway, Lisa says, thanks for sticking around with us, even if it's not as often. A little Anthony is better than no Anthony. Enjoy your trip. Oh, thank you. Lisa says, ooh, Anthony, a D-stash. I hope I can be there and get one. If for no other reason to have one of your kits. I haven't bought any kits since May. It's been hard, but damn, I got 48 undone DAC and 6 undone jaded gem shops. Oh, wow. Usually do one a month, but I really didn't diamond paint all summer. Been trying to get back in the swing of things and started Cordion Babe. Oh, nice. A few weeks ago, but don't even have 2 rows done yet. I'm going to get my groove back. I just know I am. Yeah, for sure. Of course you are. And you'll have to let me know if you have. I think Cordion Babe, is that an Enos Guerrero? You'll have to let me know. That sounds familiar. Cordion Babe. Is that the Enos Guerrero that kind of looks like the It clown, or am I completely off? You'll have to let me know. Come on. He's like, oh, let me sniff more. I want to keep sniffing. Thank you for the comment. And Doretta says, hi, Anthony. Thank you for trusting us with this. 2 things. Give yourself some grace and your walk in life isn't supposed to be like anyone else. Just enjoy your life. 2, what's the name of the book you're talking about? I can say for myself, I enjoy you and your videos. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. That book is called The Let Them Theory. Let Them Theory. And it is by Meg Robbins, I believe. She has a number of books out, and she also has a podcast that I started listening to like 1 episode, but then I had to turn it off, and then I never came back around to it. But it was good what I did hear. But yeah, she's a pretty great author. It's funny because we started another book, and we have another upcoming book club, I think on Thursday, and we vote. So everyone puts in recommendations on like a spreadsheet, and then we put them in a vote after each book club, like a poll, and then everyone picks which one they want to do. And I voted for this one just because I know my coworker was really excited to listen to it or read it. So I picked it because she wanted to get to it. And so I think a lot of other people did too. It's like, oh, well, she wants to do it, let's do it. So we did it, and it's called The Subtle Art of Not Giving an F Word is the name of the book. And I'll be honest with you guys, I hate it. It's just whoever the author is speaking to isn't me. It seems like he's trying to appeal to like younger tech bros is kind of what it feels like. And so you hear the title, The Subtle Art of Not Giving an F. I'm like, okay, that's a catchy title. But then I'm listening to it on an audiobook, and he's reading it, which his whole manner of speaking is just kind of, it's very bro, like college bro kind of. But the whole first 2 chapters seem like an exercise in how many times can I say the F word in my book. And so I don't know if he's trying to like get your attention or jar you into like waking up and listening, but it's just like F this and F that, and you just got to tell him, I don't give a F. Oh, sorry, don't mean to cuss. Give an F. Or this person was like, what the, like, it's just F, 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 F. So at a certain point, you just can't even really pay attention to what he's actually trying to say or what the message is. I just kept thinking, counting down seconds until he said it again and trying to count how many times he says it in a minute or in a chapter. And it was just awful. And again, if you're like, I could see if I was like a straight white guy just out of college or early in my career and I was feeling like I was behind or not keeping up with my frat buddies and feeling down on myself and scrolling through Instagram and just feeling bad about myself. I guess maybe it would speak to me, but it is not at all how I like to be talked to, like spoken to. It's not how I learn. I don't feel like, it almost feels like I'm trying to get down on your level. You're just a guy like me, is kind of the vibe. And it's just like, ew, dude, get out of here. So I really hate it. And then at a certain point, he's like, we all want the same thing. You know, we want great sex. We want to get laid all the time. And we want to be ballers. You know, we want to part the waters when we walk into a room. And it's like, no, not me. So it's just like, ugh, it's just very cringy, I guess is the best word I can use to describe it. It's very cringy. And I kept listening to it. I listened to the first 2 chapters and I was like, okay, I think I'm going to quit this book. I was like, you know what, Anthony, you got to push through because, you know, everyone's reading this book. You got to push through. So I turned it back on and kept listening, but I started setting it to 1.5 speed and then 1.7 speed and then 2 times speed and then 2.3 is kind of the fastest I can listen to it while still being able to comprehend, like understand the words. So I had it set to 2.3 and he's just like, you know, and so I got through like another chapter. I still have like about an hour and a half to go of the audiobook. And I'm going to quit because I'm just getting through this book just so I can say that I did it and participate in book club, but I'm not going to have anything nice to say about it in book club. So I'm like, I'm essentially hate listening to this just so I can trash it in a few days and just talk about how horrible I thought it was and how it didn't connect to me. So I'm like, you know what? You know what's a better option is sit it out. And whoever did listen to it and enjoyed it, they can sit and have a conversation about what they learned and their takeaways. I've taken nothing of value away from what I've listened to so far. Sometimes there's these little nuggets of wisdom, but it's a lot of things that I find to be, at least, you know, I'm emotionally immature, but some of the concepts I know and I've practiced my entire life. Some of the things that he brings up, some like even the things that I could find helpful or I did actually sink in outside of all the cursing were things that I'm like, yeah, I know. So I'm like, this just, it's, I think this is for the 20 something set. This is for the college frat guy set who are trying to get into crypto or whatever. Like this is for them, you know. I'm not that guy. Like he spends a whole chapter about talking or saying that, you know, happiness is not something that you should expect to just fall in your lap and no one's just happy by default. Happiness is an activity and you have to work towards happiness, and happiness only comes as the reward for the grind, the 60-hour work week, the horrible boss, the hating your job, the this, the that. It's the reward that comes after that. So why do people act like they deserve happiness when they haven't done the grind and the hard work to get it? And I'm like, I get where you're coming from. And again, I could see how speaking to someone early in their career or as a college student or whatever, that could help them kickstart or jumpstart their early career. But I'm, 20 years into my career as a HR professional, and I'm past the grind. I used to do all that stuff and be miserable with my job and hate my job and dislike my boss, and it was just all about keeping your nose down so you can climb the ladder. And I'm like, yeah, I'm past that, and now I realize that my day-to-day happiness, which yes, you can wake up happy, and I've learned that fairly recently. And it's not an activity, it's just a mindset, you know. It's not like I say, okay, now it's the next 4 hours I get to be happy because I did this thing. Like, he just has this very, very dismal kind of outlook on happiness, and his book's more focused on, you know, the moral of the story is don't let anybody else make you feel any other way, or make you feel less than or whatever. It's all about just keeping your nose down and working and doing the grind, and then you'll get your reward, and then you can laugh at them, you know. I don't know, it's just so weird. It's even hard for me to kind of explain, or even hard for me to understand what he's trying to say, because it's so far outside my realm and where I'm currently at in life. So it was just really weird. It was just really weird, and it kind of surprises me that this coworker in particular would pick this book, because I don't think that she has that same mindset. So I don't know if it was just highly recommended to her, or if it was just on her reading list. But I was like, this is not like, I don't know. I asked a coworker on Monday, who's also in book club, I'm like, did you read that book? And she's like, yeah, I got 2 chapters in and I quit. It's not for me. It's pretty terrible. And I was like, okay, I'm not the only one. Then I asked my supervisor's boss, because she's in the book club. I'm like, hey, did you finish it? Or did you start reading it? She's like, no, I didn't start it. I just don't have time this quarter to read. And I was like, okay. And she's like, why? Is it good? And I'm like, no, it's bad. And she's like, okay, maybe I dodged a bullet. So I haven't asked. We've got 3 other people in the book club, so including my supervisor, but I haven't asked her. I'll ask her tomorrow. Or I guess 4 other people. So, yeah, and I haven't asked the person that recommended it either, because I don't necessarily want to start that conversation, since we haven't done book club yet, to be like, hey, did you read the book? And I'd hate for her to be like, yeah, I did, I love it. And I'm like, oh. So I'm just gonna tell my boss, I have a one-on-one with her tomorrow. I'm just gonna tell her, hey, I'm sitting book club out. I got like 75% of the way through, but it was just out of sheer will and determination. I hated it. And I don't know if you want that kind of energy in the book club for this one, so we'll see. And then I looked into him, because his manner of speaking and just his writing style, I was like, God forbid if this guy is like some crazy MAGA guy, because he gives those vibes. And from what I researched, he's not. But one of his first books was a how to pick up chicks book. So that just gives you an idea of what his style is, and I hate it. So anyway, okay. Moving on. Artemis says, my perspective is that the U.S. She's going to get into it. I know, Artemis. Oh, gosh, here we go. Artemis, you know I read these, right, out loud? Okay, here we go. My perspective is that the U.S., right there, I was like, okay, is built on blood and bones, yes, so who are we to judge? Beauty and beautiful people exist despite a specific regime being in charge. The words hot take make my butt itch, lol. What happened to having a take? Is my age showing? Liking what you like isn't an issue. I have my favorites too, but I wouldn't hype something up that I have qualms about. No, I do have my brand disloyalties. There are certain shops I know too much about and just can't purchase from. I can count on one hand the times I've given a thumbs down, and it was a thumbs down or a rude comment. I don't engage with rude comments, so I left a thumbs down before unsubscribing. I have a huge problem with that, what I deem elitist views too. Yeah, for sure. Luckily, kind of reframing how I engage with diamond painters and YouTube content creators has totally changed how I engage. Like, I have so much more fun, and it's always a good time. It's very rare that something happens that chaps my butt, you know? And when it does happen, it's hard for me to, like you said, it's hard for me not to say something. Like, for instance, that whole thing with Enablers Outpost a few months ago. It's hard for me not to say something, but after that experience, I'm like, you know what? Even that's not really worth my time. And it's my bad for, like, I usually like to test the waters if I'm gonna go into a live stream for someone that maybe I haven't been on their live stream before. Just sit and watch the chat for a minute, see who's chit-chatting, and if I recognize any names, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I'll just keep to myself. So I try to do that, but it was a lapse in judgment. And honestly, I don't think I had seen Enablers Outpost in the chat in the few minutes I had been there. So that was completely my bad. That was my bad for sticking my nose into a live stream where I wasn't necessarily welcome. And someone else did say that the two people, or the person, I can't remember, that whose channel it actually was, are very nice. And I think they've commented on my videos before and have been in some of my live streams. So it was not the people that were running the live stream. I just didn't realize that Enablers Outpost was in that chat room, or in the chat. So yeah, it is what it is. You know, it is what it is. I don't like them. I don't care for them. I believe that shop owner responded to my parody video in a very ignorant and uneducated way. And so I don't mind saying that. I thought what their little post that they put on their shop page, by the way, was really stupid, and came off, in my opinion, as I always say I'm never going to pull punches, but I just don't want to start anything. So I'll leave it at that. I just think this person, that shop owner, has a very uneducated view on race and creative expression. I'll just say those two things. I'll leave it at that. So yeah, it is what it is, but I honestly don't care. I don't care. Yes, it's fun to poke the little bullies in that little Mean Girls crew. It's fun to poke them and get a rise out of them because they're just so reactionary and on edge and just looking for a fight whenever they can find one. So it's kind of funny to poke them, being someone that does not care about them. But it also doesn't, it's not always a good look on my end too. Like, Anthony, you say that you're not into it, but then you get pulled into it when someone says something, or you feel like you need to poke fun at them or whatever. So it's easier just to, like, the best thing that you can do in those situations, I think I've learned, is just to do nothing. I think that's probably what gets under their skin most, is not getting the attention, or getting the, like, I absolutely could imagine that Elizabeth over at Enablers Outpost posted that, and then there's like some other chat that she's on with the catty girls, and is like, ooh, did you see what I put? I put a puke emoji. And they're like, you go girl, get him, we hate him. It was dumb of me to play into. It is what it is, whatever. It's fine. I'm having a good time over here without needing to mess with all that. But it will always be something that I have to stop and check myself on, of like, do you really want to play the game with these people? But it happens less and less. Like, that's really the only time that it's happened, like, I'd say in the past year, because I've disconnected myself from that entire, like, subset of diamond painters and diamond painting content creators that are very catty, and I don't know, I've separated myself from that, and I just do my own thing, and it hasn't negatively impacted, the success of my channel or my ability to do what I want to do. Like, just kind of being a lone wolf with a few folks that I interact with has not been to the detriment of the success of the channel, and I'm not looking to make this some sort of job or money making thing. So I don't feel like I need to bend a knee or a curtsy to the what would you call it? the council of the diamond painting community. I just kind of run my own game. And so many people do that. Like the majority, a lot of content creators, at least the ones that I talk to now and a lot that I see, do that. They just have their own channel. They're not shouting out, oh, hey girl, blah, blah, blah. Like they just create content, talk to their viewers, respond to comments on their channel, and they walk away. Like they're not really, they diamond paint, but that whole term community, I think, is what really trips people up. It's like you can be diamond painting and create content, and your community is what you make it, as big or as small as you want it. And I think when I started, I wanted it to be huge. I wanted to be right alongside like the larger channels. I wanted every single person, I wanted to like me or be friends with me. I wanted to be in all the live streams, have everyone on my live streams, and play the popularity contest. And then I kind of reset and like, no, is that really what you want? Because that just brings problematic people in trouble, you know? And so I think I'm still working to get away from that. And I think part of that is staying in my lane and not jumping into random live streams that I see because I think it would be fun or pop in to say hi. I think that last experience just taught me, look, dude, you've burned a lot of bridges with some folks or a few folks. There's a bunch of content creators that don't care for you, and you need to live with that. So just going in blindly to a live stream that you're not familiar with whoever's hosting it, and you haven't vetted who's in the chat, just could lead to unnecessary drama that you don't want to bring on yourself. And I never would want to make anything awkward for a channel host. So I think it was just kind of the final nail in the coffin of like, hey, stick to your channel. If you want to do a live stream and have other people on, great. If you want to join someone else's live stream, make absolutely sure it's someone that you know, you're familiar with, you know, you're comfortable, you're not going in blind, and just stick to that. And it's not going to be a bad mark on your channel. It's not going to prevent growth, this and that, the other. Just keep doing what you're doing, have a good time, and everything else just, you know, everybody else is living their life the way that they feel they should be living their life and conducting themselves the way they feel they should be conducting yourself. It's up to me if I want to participate and engage with that. You know, let them do that. Let me focus on my own channel. So, and things have been going really well. So there's proof that it doesn't matter. You don't have to be rubbing elbows with every single content creator. You don't have to be popping up on everybody else's live stream. You don't have to listen to the he said, she said, and this person, and I hate this shop because they did this, and don't shop from them because they did this. If you make those decisions on your own, like Artemis said, you know, she has some shops that she just won't shop from because she knows too much. If you have some of that stuff, fine. But you don't need to be spreading it around. You don't need to be pushing, you know, anti this shop or whatever. Just make your decision and move on. I tell you when these things happen with shops or content creators, not to encourage you to not buy from them or not support them. I don't care. It's your money. But I'm gonna be honest with my personal experience. I wouldn't come on here and be like, so I heard from somebody else that this shop did this thing. You know, I'm just telling you exactly how my personal direct experience firsthand. And it's for no other reason than I think it's funny and I think you might enjoy it. But I don't want anyone to be like, oh, well, if Enabler's Outpost was acting like that, then I don't want to buy from them. Like, no, that's not the case at all. Like, let their product and your experience be your guide. I mean, for instance, I had Mia on my pop-up live that I did last week, just to chit chat. It ended up turning into a whole 3-hour situation. And people were asking what pens we were using, what kits, all the stuff. And so I went over mine and I was like, Mia, what do you have going on? And she gave everything. And then she's like, I won't tell you where my pen or my putty's from because I know Anthony doesn't like that shop. I was like, I don't care. And she's like, okay, I'm using Enabler's Outpost. It's like, what does it matter to me? It was like, I made my own decision for my own reasons. Like I'm not that guy. Like, I'm not trying to talk about my experiences to like drive a shop into the ground or make them go out of business. Like I care just as little about the success of their business as I do about the shop owner themselves. So you do what you want. Doesn't matter to me if they sink or swim. If they end up becoming the next Diamond Art Club, good for them. Won't be buying for my own reasons. But if they see a ton of success, that's great. I mean, the more options we have in the community, the better, I hate community is such, I do it too, but I'm trying to get away from using that word because it makes it sound like there are people that aren't in it, aren't in a community. Let me rephrase that. The more businesses and shops that we have in the diamond painting space, the better. Yeah, I think community that word gets misused a lot, and it gets abused by people that want other people to feel left out. So I try to avoid using it. Like, you guys are my fam, my group of people that I talk to, and the larger group of people that diamond paint is just called diamond painters. People that diamond paint. But yeah, I've heard it used too much, like they're not being very community minded. They think that they're part of this community, and it's just like, shut up. Stop using that term as like a weapon against people to make them conform to what you believe is the right way to do content or the shops that they should be supporting and blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, bro. Ow. Okay, anyway, I have strong feelings about that whole topic, so that's always going to be something that I discuss. But just know that I have no ill will towards anyone. I have no desire to see anybody sink or swim, or content creators to keep their channels or lose their channels or grow or shrink. And I will do my best every time I engage with other people that create content or craft to check myself and just kind of keep to myself. I guess keep to myself. That might sound harsh. I'm not, but you know what I mean. I don't mean that as like, I won't talk to you guys, like I'm here talking to you. But you know what I mean. I'm no longer going out of my way to look for new channels or search for people that are live streaming and jump on and try to engage with strangers. They're strangers. I'm not doing that very much. I did have a really positive experience though on the flip side. I went on Ditsy's live stream a few weeks ago because it was during my pop-up live. So I did a pop-up live, and then Elisa Maria was live right around the same time. So after everyone left mine, we all went over to Elisa Maria's. And then from there, she was like, oh, Ditsy's going live, and people in the comments were saying that, let's head over there. So it was this whole train, we were all just moving from mine to Elisa Maria's to Ditsy's. And I don't think I've ever talked to Ditsy or been watched a live stream or a video, but my people I knew were there from the previous stream. So I think Mia was there, I think Eve was there, a bunch of people. So I was like, okay, I'll say hi. So I said hi, and she was so sweet and nice and very welcoming. And I actually It was a live stream they were doing with the shop owner, so I ended up buying a kit from the shop owner, and it should be here tomorrow at the time of filming this. So I'm going to do an unboxing, make sure it all looks good, and if it does, I may be trying to work on something, some kind of either highlight or shop spotlight or something with the shop owner if everything looks good. But I want to give it a once over before I dive in head first. Hop up. So yeah, I kind of want to just get a feel for the product because I've never shopped there before I go all in. But yeah, so we'll see. Anyway, to each their own. You do what makes the most sense for you. Just know that I'm never trying to, even when I do unboxings or rave about a shop, I'm never trying to like explicitly be like, only spend your money here, support this, but don't support that. I just talk about what I support in terms of products and shops and what I don't and why. And, you know, everything else is up to you, you know. I don't begrudge Mia for purchasing from where she purchases from, even though I might not. Like, it just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But it's something to share. It's diamond painting related. I think it's fun to share. Sometimes I think it's funny, these interactions and how ridiculous people can be. And that's kind of what I would want you to take out of it, is just a good story to be told. And let's not take things too seriously. And same with diamond dots. Like, I know people really love diamond dots. And hey, after working on the Kiss, have I come around? I don't like the price and I don't like the packaging, but that kit is one of my favorites that I've worked on in quite some time. Very good. I love it. Even down to the micro dots or the micro drills, I'm having a good old time, and so much so that I'm probably gonna get another one. But I'll talk more about that during the finish review. I'm 60% done with that kit already, and it's been like a week and a half. I may, who knows, I may finish that by the end of the year. I am loving it. I'm loving it. Anyway, thank you, Artemis. Artemis goes on to say, blog part 2 means a new super long comment. Oh my gosh, right? Happy 200th vlog. Do I win for longest reply time since it's after August 25th? Self-reflection is hard. I just keep it to myself and do the work. People will see the change when you approach those situations differently. I like to say it's not a heart transplant or a cure for cancer. It sums up my feeling on the whole shebang. It's the relationships that are important, not the circus we congregate in. Oh honey, don't what if everyone over 30 grew up in another time. The 30 to 50 crew are discovering things about mental and emotional health that weren't normalized back when we were young. We're all playing catch up there, and that's okay, but don't play what if. Yeah, I know. It's just, you know, when those moments hit you, it's hard not to. Like, of course, I'm not gonna like dwell in that or feel sorry for myself or anything, or just let it stew. Like, that would completely negate the work, right? So part of the work is just kind of moving on. But I think it's still okay to reflect and think back and remind yourself of where you used to be. And that just, in the long run, that can help make you feel more proud of where you are currently. So I'm sorry if that came off as like, woe is me, or I'm gonna be sitting with these feelings. I talk freely on these vlogs a lot and probably overshare. Come here. Ready? Kabale. But I certainly didn't dwell on that. It was just kind of in the moment, talking it through and just kind of honestly coming to that realization in like real time with you all. Then it's like, oh crap. And I also tend to be a very, like, things hit me. And when they do, I tend to be like pretty emotional about them, but then, you know, I'm learning to move on pretty quickly. So yeah, that didn't sit with me longer than maybe like a couple hours after our chit chat. So I'm all good. You ready? Look at the puppy. Look at the puppy. There's certainly a lot more people on this side because of the Christmas lights. Everyone likes to take a little stroll, and it's cool. It's chilly, but it's not freezing. But yeah. I think recognizing where you've tripped up in the past is also part of that work, you know, and acknowledging it. So yeah, but it's kind of funny, like once I kind of understood that about myself, and in the past, like, you know, a few weeks, month or so of just kind of working on it, it's so funny how how easy it is to just abide by that and not slip into those old habits, because you realize how like silly or immature it was. So it's like the easy route used to be the thing that I did, and now the easy route is the thing that I've learned to do. It's like it's just as easy to be more mature about it as it is. It's even harder sometimes to be more immature, because an immature, reactionary, or all that stuff, because it just takes a lot more emotional weight, emotional energy to be upset and I guess, I don't know, like I spent so much more time like being in a bad mood and just thinking about why I'm in a bad mood and being upset. Spend so much more time just pondering that and just going down these rabbit holes and just churning over conversations and situations in my head. And I'm like, gosh, I spent so much time doing that, and now just like letting things go and just focusing on what I'm doing and how I'm reacting and how I'm engaging with friends and family and coworkers, and just making sure to just have a positive mindset or optimistic mindset, giving people the benefit of the doubt, not reading into things, and just moving forward is like way easier. Takes so much less it's so much less of a drain than it is to be frustrated and upset and have resentments, you know, resentments that you're holding on to and stuff. It's just like, dang. So I think that's, you know, I don't know. It's good to remind yourself of like the progress you've made, but I'm sorry if that came, and I'm sure it did, because I was just kind of really talking about it out loud for the very first time. So I'm sure it came off as like, oh, I'm so depressed about the fact that I used to act like that, or like I can't let that go. No, not at all. Not at all. I'm doing good. I've got my baby. I've got my family. Friendships are doing good, and yeah, it's just, yeah, I'm just living life. Can't complain. Okay, come on. I'm sure that water's freezing. I don't know why you want to get in there. Come on. Come on, little animal. Let's go. Yeah, I bet it's cold, buddy. Okay, we're gonna zip through this last little area so we can avoid humans. Hold on. Okay, sorry. Just had to cut through that last little area because there was a few families gathered around looking at lights and stuff, and I'm like, you know, I really like walking around the lights too. But it would be even better if I could do it alone. No humans, please. Thank you. You can leave your dogs here. I'll walk them with Apollo, but the humans can go. Not interested. So anyway, feelings. Sensitive. Thank you, Artemis. Mr. Savage Beat says, don't forget to add Ireland as a country where a listener of yours lives. Oh, nice. Yeah, that's awesome. I wonder if you listen to, listen to Rachel Ray. She's in Ireland. That's on my list to visit for sure. Not for theme parks. I think there's only one. Is there only one? Or if any? But I just want to go for the beauty of it all and to see some people I know or I've met through diamond painting. So yeah. Trin says, reaching back to give you a digital hug. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. And let's see. We're just coming up on an intersection. I'm just like, should we check all of our crosswalks before we read this comment? Mia says, hey love, and here I was getting all ready for full-on drama. Oh, come on. For full-on drama queen mode for not caring about me and whatnot, and then you just took that away from me. Anywho, there are some countries I would not go to simply because I'm a woman, political or human rights reasons. Some of those are Dubai and the UAE, maybe UAE, but I know plenty of people who travel there without qualms. Oh, hun, don't cry. You made me cry, by the way, just to FYI, I'll bawl when y'all leave me next year. One of the annoying things about adulting is realizing our flaws. Some of these flaws we take longer to recognize than others, but don't hang on to the past and wish you did something different. Those experiences made you who you are today. Look at them and say, okay, that wasn't my best. I'll do better from now on. Lots of hugs and love. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah. And I mean, I am always, in certain circumstances going to think, I wish I would have done that differently. Like there's just no getting around it. If I could have, I would have, and I should have. So there's no getting around that. But, so I'll always think back to those times and be like, geez, Louise, that was rough, but I think that's all part of it. And for every time that I can call back to me acting a certain way that I just really wish I wouldn't have, or totally regret, or, the what if I had done things differently, I should also follow that up with, but here's what I have done. That's good. I think there's also a point to be said for finding that balance and not pretending that it didn't happen or not thinking about it, but also thinking about the other stuff. It wasn't all bad. So, and a lot of those things that I wish I would have done differently, or how I treated friends, is with friends that I'm still very close to. So through it all, these people have at least seen something good in me, right? Because they're still around. So I have to think about that too. And I ended up deciding not to bring it up with Alex. I think it's all fine. We're good. Everything's good. And I don't think there's a need to, even though part of me feels like I don't know if I could have closure there. But I mean, in the time that I've thought about bringing that stuff up with him, I've had so many great experiences with him and MJ, hanging out and going on hikes, a couple hikes and dog walks together, dinners. Alex came by on, was that Saturday? Played video games for like 4 hours. So it's like, yeah, I think we're okay. Yeah, I think we're good. So it's okay, I can just log that in my book, in my head of, don't do that again. So, but I have lots of things in my life that I should do that, that I do that with. So anyway, okay. Everyone's giving such long comments to that video. I'm so sorry if I just got emotional. I'm sorry. I'm okay. I'm fine. It's just, you start talking or thinking about things, and the waterworks come on pretty easily for me. So I talked about in my last vlog, that Mexican restaurant I went to, and already I'm already like starting to feel it just by knowing that I'm going to bring it up. So I talked about that Mexican restaurant that I went to on Sunday with Alex and MJ, and how much it reminded me of home. Well, not home, but like where my grandparents are from in Mexico, or my grandfather's from, and like the flavors and just the atmosphere and the vibes was just reminded me of when I was a little kid going on vacation to Mexico, and that family that we have there. And then the two older gentlemen that came in to play music, one of them looked kind of like my grandpa's brother, brother, who they looked fairly similar. So in turn, he kind of looked like my grandpa a little bit. And so I was thinking about that on the drive home, and just thinking about the time I had in Mexico, spending with my grandpa when he was still alive, and just, I don't know, it got me good. And just even the smells, even sometimes a smell can hit you. The smells from the kitchen, and just the boisterous conversations that were going on, and people had their whole families with the kiddo there and baby, and the music, like the whole thing just took me immediately back to like sitting next to my grandpa at 10 or 11 years old in Mexico with his whole family from Mexico, and they're making a meal, and we're just sitting around the table chit-chatting, and they're all speaking Spanish. Like, it just totally took me back to that. And so I was in the car going home, and I was just like, so yeah, that's just who I am. Things come up, sights, smells, emotions come up, and I wear my emotions on my sleeve. I shoot them up in a cannon for everyone to see. I can't get anything by anybody. And so when little things like that happen, it's very easy for me just to tear up, but I move past it. And it doesn't happen constantly. It's just like these little moments, I'm sure like these little moments, all of a sudden I'm like, what's going on with the eyes? But, it's who I am. I'd rather be that way than keep it all bottled up, for sure. So, yeah. Okay. Lisa says, Anthony, don't dwell on what if, or it will drive you crazy. I know from experience about living with regret, and I've learned to let it go because it keeps me in a dark place. You have a good head on your shoulders and are quite self-aware, so you're already on a positive road. Keep your chin up. Now I have to find some tissues because you made me cry. I'm so sorry. Thank you for watching. I don't know what that is, Apple. Let's keep moving, shall we? Do you want to cross here? Okay, your dad's hungry. Not sure what I should have for dinner. I cooked last night, and I started cooking right around 5 when Joe and Maddie came home. So then it was a 40-minute recipe, so it took me about 45 minutes to get it all done. But I felt like I was keeping Maddie and Joe away from cooking because I kind of had taken claim to the kitchen while I was cooking. I tried to keep everything tidy so there's more than one working space, but they kind of just hung out on the couch until I was done and had cleaned up. So I think tonight I'll let them have free reign, because they're actually gone starting tomorrow through Sunday. They're going not home for exactly Christmas, because they'll be home before Christmas, but they're going home for like a not on Christmas family Christmas celebration. It's just kind of the only time when everyone in their family was able to get together. So it's like Joe's sisters and aunts and uncles, they're all over the country, so they kind of picked these dates that worked for everybody. So they're gone from Wednesday to Sunday. So I'm like, you know what? I can cook to my heart's content for the rest of the week, because I'll have the whole place to myself. So I'll let them, they get to have free reign of the kitchen, and I'll go out to eat tonight, like any excuse, right? So I need to figure out what I want, though. That's the bigger question, is where shall I go? I mentioned Thai Gold last vlog, so maybe I'll get some Thai. Maybe I'll even reach out to Alex and MJ and see if they're hankering something or haven't cooked yet. I'm really excited to live above them because I know I'll have my own personal space, as will they, obviously. But I absolutely could see us doing group dinners and stuff pretty frequently because MJ likes to cook and try out new recipes, and I like to do the same. And we enjoy each other's company. So I think there could be a potential for us doing a lot of group dinners and hangouts and stuff. So yeah, we'll see. I'm excited. I'm really looking forward to it. Doretta, here we go, Doretta. What is she gonna say? Keep your head up, Anthony. Shut up. No, not shut up, but you're fine. It's fine. I know it is. I should have known that I was gonna get a lot of love after that one. I was not fishing for it. It just happened. I was not fishing for it, but I'm just a little sensitive, little pipsqueak, I guess. Hey, Anthony, live your life on your terms. You owe no one any explanation. Ultimately, when you do what's good for you, you have no regrets. No regrets. Everything happens when it's supposed to happen. Anyone meant to be in your life will be in your life. Sending hugs. Oh, thank you. That's why I have all of you here. I'm supposed to be here with you. You're supposed to be here with me. Anyone else that I've in the diamond painting, diamond painters / content creators that has kind of dropped off or fallen off, there's absolutely a reason for it. And that reason might be because I rubbed that person the wrong way, or I just didn't fall in line with how they believe we're supposed to fall in line or behave or act, or, you know, bow down to the cool diamond painters club or whatever. I don't know what goes through their head, and I'm sure they have their own reasoning, but from my own eyes it boils down to just like, there's these cliques is a bad term. It's just like, I don't know, there's these little groups, and it's a lot of it comes down to they've been diamond painting together forever. And one thing that I do know is ever since I started diamond painting, there's been this like animosity towards new content creators. I definitely felt a little bit that way when I started, and kind of like, oh, another potty break. Hold on for a second because I don't want to go all back into it. But anyway, when I first started, there definitely was this, maybe there still is, I don't know, an animosity towards new content creators, especially if their channels grow relatively quickly. Kind of like a who do they think they are from those that started channels, let's say 2019, 2020. Definitely an animosity. I remember one time I was chatting with a content creator, won't say their name, don't talk to them anymore. But she said, I started chatting with, I've been chatting with this other person, this other content creator. And they're like, oh, she thinks she's, hot, bad word, because she started her channel and immediately got to 1,400 subscribers. So she just thinks she's all that because she blew up overnight. And I'm like, oh, so should I not talk to that person anymore? It's just like that kind of stuff happened a lot. So yeah, it's just, you don't owe anyone anything. And you don't need to kiss any rings. Just do you. And you'll find the people as you're creating content and, sharing about yourself and doing diamond painting or whatever it is you do. You'll start to pop up on people's pages. Someone will say to someone else, hey, I really like this content creator. I think you'd like them too. And it just kind of spreads through word of mouth. But don't feel like you have to run around networking necessarily, because you'll get yourself into trouble. That's what I did. I got myself into trouble, so yeah. Thank you, Doretta, darling. Okay, Apollo wants to sniff. DB Bunny. I always trip that on that sometimes, not always, but DB Bunny. DB Bunny. I need to just commit your name to memory. I get reminded of it, like usually every time I go live, and then it's gone. I need to remember it. If you wouldn't mind putting, because I think you're registered for Mookamania, and I think you purchased from my D-Stash, but I can't pair the name to the username. If you wouldn't mind on your next comment saying, "Hey Anthony, it's me," like what your name is, don't forget a-hole or something like that. That way it's like that, I won't forget that. And that'll be really helpful. Thank you. And anybody else too that's like, "Anthony, you've said my name before and then you stop saying it," just you really got to just slap me across the face with it, and then I won't let it go. My brain won't let it go. Okay. Come on. So yeah, DB Buddy says, I have Lo-Fi Cali Girl, and I'd buy the Ivy kit if it was released, so already in for a paint-along. I wouldn't personally go to Saudi or some other countries as a female traveling solo, even though I'm sure I would be fine in a tourist area, but you should go for it. You have family, friends, online communities, and Apollo who all love you, so don't dwell on the past mistakes. Nobody's perfect. You're living your dream now. Keep enjoying yourself. Yeah, I will for sure. This year, there was certainly years as a child that I can look back on and be like, those were amazing times. But as an adult, I'd say that this year was my best year. Knock on wood. I hope it keeps getting better, but so much amazing stuff happened. Not only like stuff that I did, but I got to experience with friends. My mom, as we age, we all go through stuff. I'm not going to get into specifics, but she seems to be doing good, and she's really gotten into crafting and wants to start her own Etsy shop. My brother seems to be doing really well with his music. He had so many shows. My youngest brother seems to be doing good. Friends are getting married, taking whatever that next step that makes sense for them looks like, and I'm having a great time doing the traveling stuff, and get this whole roller coaster thing seems like such a unimportant thing. Could be very unimportant or seemingly kind of meaningless to others, but like being able to like travel and experience places I've never been to before, meet some people that I've engaged with online, like a lot of them in person, and just share similar interests. It's like, oh my gosh, like so much happened this year. No wonder it felt like it flew by, because I was just here and there and all over the place, and I loved it. I feel like I got to engage with this this group a lot more. And even though I felt like I couldn't do it all, I learned that I could, and that was so great to realize, like, yeah, I think I can balance everything, and just come to the realization of truly how much you all mean, and that I can't do without. So I got to keep this going. No matter what I do in life, I have to at least check in here and there, and just kind of getting that encouragement was helpful. But yeah, so much happened. Slight downs, but mostly ups, and I hope it just keeps moving in that direction. It's been awesome, and I've said this so many times, but I'm so thankful for you guys and the support and the encouragement you gave to keep this channel going, and then it's sharing that you're excited that it's sticking around. It's like, yeah, like, what were you thinking, Anthony? What were you thinking? You talk to these people most days of the year. You engage with all these folks, your online friends, most days out of the year, and you think you can just be like, oops, gonna go ride roller coasters now. It's like, no, like, no, don't, what are you, crazy? So, yeah. Thank you. Trin says, wow, what a whirlwind. Now you'll have the time to process and recuperate. And that Airbnb, I can't even imagine. I was squirming just hearing about it. I'm glad they refunded you, but the fact that you had to fight for it after submitting the pictures, that's insane. Yeah. Trin's commenting on the Airbnb from HE double hockey sticks that I went to in Virginia. Oh, terrible. But it all got resolved. I lost maybe a couple hours of sleep that I would have had it worked out by having to move to a new hotel. But it all worked out, and I ended up having an incredible time regardless. Like, yeah, did not sully the trip whatsoever. It was just kind of like, I think the thing that most, just like Trin said, the most annoying part was like, why wouldn't you immediately be like, oh yeah, bugs in your room? Okay, here's your money back. But instead they were like, oh, we don't know. It's like, no, you know. If you were in this situation, you would want your money back, right? So why don't you go ahead and click that button for me? So, yeah, thank you. Dres says, hi, Anthony. Your Advent challenge seems fantastic. Hopefully you can post it. My Advent challenge? Oh, God, Dred, I don't even know what I was talking about. Oh, I think you're talking about the Advent Village. Yes. I was like, did I give myself a challenge to, like, do one section a day for the entire Advent? I'm like, oh God, what did I commit myself to? Yes. The Advent Village. And that footage was on the last vlog because I forgot to put it on the one before that. So it's at the very beginning of, I think it's vlog 213, whatever the one prior to this one was. At the very beginning, I put Christmas music and the village pictures and a couple video shots. So I hope you got to see that. Thank you. Artemis says, holy splatterbutt, Batman, do the master's class version. LOL, yeah, you said this right after I typed it. He was a NASCAR driver. Lord, I'm gonna stop being Johnny on the spot because no point. Thanks for keeping me company. Yes, it's a cartoon and they have passwords like Ramalama, Pickle Pootie. What? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Remind me what cartoon we were talking about. I'd have to go back and listen. But yes, I did the masterclass version. That's so funny that comment is 3 weeks old. And from the time I was talking about doing the masterclass version to now, I'm 60% done with the kit. That's wild. But yeah, but those original masterclass boxes and pricing is just insane. But I am committing to giving it another shot. I'm gonna finish this one and then pretty much immediately buy the next one in hopes to give them both to we'll call him my boss, but it's like my boss's boss's boss. Giving both to him. So Woman in Gold and The Kiss. Woman in Gold's a little bit bigger, so my hope is to get these all to him by the end of February would be ideal. And then I can finally go back to like my regularly scheduled programming. We'll end it with that, just because I want to give you a status. Trin gave some hearts to another comment. Thank you, Trin, and thank you everyone for your comments. We're now only 3 weeks behind. We started at 2 months behind, so we made some good work. All right, so we'll just quickly talk about diamond painting. So I have kitted up, not started. You know the drill. Oh, tangent, hold on. I won't be able to stop thinking about it. I talked about this 2+ years ago about starting some kind of podcast or like monthly or weekly catch-up video podcast, but it could also be audio only, where I get caught up with new releases from various shops. We talk about new shop openings, shop closings, maybe new artists that have been licensed, just any and everything, talking about whips, all of that stuff, answering questions, answering diamond painting related questions, like a Q&A section. Just thinking it'd be cool to put together an hour podcast, maybe once a month, where I just give everyone the rundown of some cool and interesting things, news, state of the craft, that type of thing. And I know it would be quite a bit of work to put together, so that's why I'm thinking it would be a monthly situation. And I was thinking of reaching out to a content creator or so to see if they would want to pre-record one of these a month towards the end of the month, and then they'd go out the end of the month just so we have the most recent information. And it wouldn't be an exhaustive recap of every shop and every release or anything like that, but just touching on some highlights, things to check out, just kind of the news of shops. No drama, obviously, we're not getting any of that, but if like a new shop opens or something happened, or a new artist got licensed or a shop closed, so you're going to want to make sure to check or is about to close or whatever. I don't know. I haven't really come up with the exact structure. I'm just kind of spitballing ideas here. But the reason it came up is because I think the podcast should be called You Know the Drill, because it's like a double meaning. So that's why it just popped into my head. And I've been thinking about it for the past like couple weeks. Like, should you do that? Because now I have this upgraded computer. I've got my upgraded audio equipment, my new editing software. I'm like, yeah, you could actually really do this. And so it might be its own separate channel, or me and whoever, if anyone wanted to co-host, I would prepare the video and we could cross-post it on each other's channels. I'm not sure. I haven't figured out really the logistics of it, but I've had that idea of You Know the Drill for a while now. And then I stopped thinking about it because somebody had reached out to me, I want to say in 2023 at some point, and had said, hey, my name's whatever, I'm starting a diamond painting podcast. Would you like to be on it? And if so, fill out this Google form and I'll get you on the schedule to be a guest in an upcoming episode. We're just getting things off the ground. So I filled out the Google form, reached out to them, said I was all done, got it all done. Never heard anything, and from what I know, that podcast never got off the ground. I don't think it ever started. So I'm like, okay, well, if that's still out there as something someone could do, I'd love to start You Know the Drill and do like a monthly just crafting, diamond painting related recap podcast where we just talk about everything that happened over the month. We could even talk about upcoming events, event announcements, whatever. And then maybe I could create an email that people could submit their tips or whatever. Like, hey, did you know that this shop opened? Hey, I saw that this artist just got licensed. Hey, just wanted to let you guys know that blah, 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 blah. Or, hey, I have a question that could you answer it regarding diamond painting? Or, hey, I started an event that's upcoming, or there is this event that I'm participating. Love for you to mention it, and just create a little script of things we want to touch on, and then just chit chat in between. It's not going to be super like regimented, but just make sure we're hitting all the talking points while we're gabbing. Or if it's just me, then I'll just make sure I try to get it all covered. But it would be cool to have other crafters on it, maybe crafters that maybe even don't have their own channel, but just want to talk about it. I'd love to have Vaughn on so she could talk about all of her completed diamond paintings and how she gets them all done, and she has so much creativity about how she finishes them. Talk to Doretta, talk to whoever. I know Doretta has her channel, but you know what I mean. Just have folks on, have small shops on, create like a dedicated space to some of the things that I have already done in the past in videos. I don't know. Let me know if you would listen and watch along to You Know the Drill with Single and Placing, and maybe I will start a podcast, because I think I could figure out how to put it on Apple Music and on Spotify and all that stuff too, so it could literally be like a legitimate podcast. You know the drill. with single and placing. I don't know. I like the sound of that. I like the sound of that. All right. I'm always coming up with ideas. And then cut to a year from now. Guys, I'm quitting. You know the drill. I'm just too busy and blah, blah, blah. And I've got life stuff going on and blah, blah, blah. And then cut to 6 months after that. Guys, guess what? I'm going to keep, you know the drill going. I've been able to figure it out and I can do it all. All right, that's enough hating on myself. Okay, we'll talk to you later. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share this content with friends, family members, anyone that you think might take some value out of it. Happy placing. We'll see you next time. Bye. 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 Bye.